Ugh, I thought I'd make it out without contracting it this time. It didn't happen. I have the paraplague. Hey guys, I'm Natalie and welcome back to my channel. So, as you guys may or may not know, I just got back from Parahoy. It was so much fun. If you want to see more of what I actually did on the cruise, you can check out my Parahoy vlog, which I'll link in the description below. So if you want to check that out, that'd be great. But this video is about how accessible the cruise was. I was actually very impressed by how accessible the Norwegian Cruise Line boats were. During this cruise, we sailed on the Norwegian Jade. During the last Parahoy cruise, on Parahoy 2, we actually ran a different ship. Both of the ships were very accessible. I actually stayed in a balcony room with my friend and I was really impressed. So the room itself was situated in a hallway right next to where the elevator. It was kind of loud at night because everyone would be getting off the elevator and walking right past our room. However, a lot of the hallways on the ships were very narrow, at least in the hallways that had cabins in them. So it was kind of nice to just be able to get off the elevator. A lot of times too, like the hallways would have carts in them with the towels and other housekeeping supplies. So it was nice not to have to maneuver myself around them to get down the hallway. Regarding the room itself, when we first got there, they had the beds separated into 2 different beds. And there was also a lot of room to put my chair and other medical equipment. We actually ended up setting up my ventilator like right next to my bed by on top of a desk that was right next to it. I also used distilled water at night for my ventilators. Last cruise, I didn't know that this was an option. You can actually submit a form to the access desk. So they'll actually provide you with a jug of distilled water for your ventilator. And they'll have it in your room so it's ready right when you get there. So, I mean, regarding the room itself, it was really spacious. They actually had a bathroom. The bathroom is actually pretty huge. My chair could fit in it and I could like turn around really easily and park it under the sink so I could easily wash my hands and brush my teeth and all that. They actually had this gear that you could turn to like lower and tilt the mirror. So if you were in a wheelchair, you could tilt it so that you could see yourself in the mirror above the sink. However, the only downside to this was like if you turned the lever, it would actually tilt and then block the light that was above the sink, so I couldn't really use the mirror in the bathroom to do my makeup or put my contacts in because it actually would block, like once the mirror tilted, it would block the light. So I ended up using the mirror that was over the desk next to my bed. They actually also had like a full-length body mirror in the room, so I mean one of the 3 mirrors would probably work for you. Also, they had a roll-in shower in the bathroom, so I could just slide my shower chair right into the shower and then I could just use like the roll-in shower. But what was really nice was that instead of just like one little area being a roll-in shower, essentially the entire bathroom was a roll-in shower. So they actually had drains like around the entire interior edge of the bathroom, so like if water got anywhere it wouldn't go out into the room, which was great. The only downside was that the toilet in the bathroom was raised, so my toilet chair didn't fit over the toilet. So I kind of had to figure out a different way to be transferred to the restroom during that time period, but I mean, it all worked out. And then we actually had a balcony on our room. In the past, like, well, recently when I've been apartment hunting, I've actually been trying to find an apartment that has access to a balcony, but a lot of times the balcony will have like a ledge that you have to step over to get onto the balcony. And this happens a lot, like when I go to hotel rooms and stuff like that as well. So what was really nice is on this ship, they actually had a ramp that went over the ledge and then onto the balcony, and the balcony was raised. So I could go out onto the balcony and I could actually turn my entire chair around on the balcony, which was really nice. So, and the balcony also had a power operated door, because it was a door that like slid open like this. So since I couldn't like push or pull on it, I'd have to slide it. They actually had like a toggle switch that you could hit so you could open and close the door. The only bad part was that since we had our beds separated into 2 beds instead of like 1 king, I couldn't actually get my chair next to the power door opening switch. So if you do end up getting a balcony room, I mean, if you're able to reach the switch, it doesn't really matter, but for me, I can't like pick up my arm and hit it. So that was kind of a little annoying, but one of my friends were usually with me, so it didn't really matter. It would have been really nice though if the actual main door to the room was also a power operated door, so then I could access my room independently. But other than that, like the room was basically perfect. So I would definitely recommend going on a cruise if you are looking for an accessible vacation that would allow you to operate independently. And then they had elevators that went to every level of the ship. Also, like, all of the public restrooms that were wheelchair accessible were basically family-size restrooms or companion restrooms instead of stalls. And all of those restrooms had power-operated doors on them and power lock. So if you can't twist your wrist and open and close a doorknob, and you can't like push in a lock, they have buttons that you can just like push and it'll open the door and it'll lock the door behind you as well. And you can hit the button again and it'll unlock the door. So that was great. So I could even access the bathroom independently. So regarding all of the concerts and events on the ship, all of like the main concerts, all of the Paramore events were held on the main pool deck. They had like a huge stage that was over where the main swimming pool would normally be. So they drained the pool and they put the stage there. So the small pool open. The only bad part was that the small pool actually didn't have mechanical lift. So unfortunately I wasn't able to access the swimming pool at all during the entire cruise because they actually have the lift attached to the main pool, which was the pool that they drained, and that's where they set up the stage. So that was kind of disappointing. But anyway, then for all the concerts, they had wheelchair accessible seating on various levels. So last year they had the wheelchair accessible seating on house left on the main floor, and they also had wheelchair accessible seating in the balcony or sun deck area on the ship on house left and house right. So those seats were phenomenal if you wanted to sit kind of further away. But the seats on the main floor were not very good at all. Actually, my entire view was blocked the entire time because they had the wheelchair accessible seating arranged so that it was right behind where like this hot tub was, and it was also behind basically everyone who was in the pit area. So if you were in the wheelchair accessible seating area on the main floor, you essentially couldn't see anything. But this year they changed it, which is awesome. So they actually had it on house right, and it wasn't blocked by anything. You could see over everyone pretty much, and there weren't like any hot tubs obstructing your view or anything, and they had a really clear view of the stage. So that was great. So I was down on the main floor there for the second Paramore show, and then the Paramore karaoke, and the Paramore Q&A session. And then I was up on the balcony for the first show. But yeah, the seating was great. And then in the indoor seating, they had it held in the Stardust Theater. And the Stardust is a seated venue. So they have a platform set up for wheelchairs. Overall, it worked pretty well. They actually had two areas, and each of them held about 6 people total. So regarding dining, during the entire cruise, I actually only ate in the buffet because we were just doing so many activities that we didn't really have time to like go and sit down in a seated restaurant. And also most of like the upscale restaurants, they didn't provide outdoor seating, and we're from Michigan, and my friends and I didn't really want to sit inside in the air conditioning. We wanted to be in the nice warm sunny outdoors. So we usually ate in the buffet. But in the buffet they actually had reserved tables for wheelchair access. I noticed they had about 3 tables reserved, and each table fit about, I want to say like 6 people, which was really nice because then I was able to sit with all of my friends at every meal. So that was great. But yeah, if you love Paramore or just love music in general, I would definitely recommend going on Parahoy. They're really easy to work with, and they're also very accommodating. Anyway, I hope you have a phenomenal day, and if you like this video and want to receive notifications when I upload videos in the future, don't forget to hit that little subscribe button down below. Alright guys, see you in my next video. Bye.